In 2015, a couple residing in San Jose, California, fell victim to a very scary home invasion. The perpetrators of the crime were never identified. Law enforcement advised the couple to invest in home security cameras as a preventative measure against future break-ins, and the couple took this advice. They proceeded to install a total of 6 surveillance cameras in various locations around their residence. Then, on May 8th of the same year, the security cameras captured a second break-in. 2 individuals dressed in black scaled the fence into the backyard and discovered an unlocked sliding glass door in the kitchen. They entered the house and immediately made their way to the kitchen, where one of them disconnected a phone that was sitting on the counter. They proceeded to rummage through the cabinets and drawers, eventually finding kitchen knives which they took with them, possibly as weapons. Another camera recorded them running upstairs with the knives in hand. As they searched the rooms on the upper floor, one of the intruders encountered a locked door, which happened to be the entrance to the master bedroom. Upon hearing a baby crying inside the room, the intruder alerted his accomplice that there were people inside the house. Rather than leaving, the intruders aggressively attempted to kick down the locked door, eventually creating a hole and thrusting their knives through it. The family friend named Rosie, who was babysitting the couple's child, quickly grabbed the child and retreated to the bathroom, locking the door. She informed the intruders that she had called the police, and this seemed to deter them as they fled the scene before fully gaining entry to the bedroom. Despite reviewing the surveillance footage, the police were unable to identify the intruders, and their true intentions remain unknown. It seems unlikely that their sole motive was robbery, as they went to the extent of disabling phones and arming themselves with knives. Furthermore, they did not immediately leave upon realizing there were people inside, but instead attempted to forcefully breach a locked door. The incident, captured by a home security camera in Vacaville, California, which occurred in April, during a time when school children commonly walk home in the afternoons, is another example. The footage shows a girl wearing a backpack walking in the frame, seemingly on her way home from school like other children. However, she was being followed by a man driving a dark-colored Pontiac for several blocks. The girl noticed the man's suspicious behavior and used a large truck parked on the side of the road to conceal herself. She suddenly stopped walking when she was out of the man's view, and the driver of the Pontiac also stopped, expecting her to reappear. But before we get into that scary part of the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying this video and want to see more like this one. When she didn't, the man lingered for a while before driving away slowly. The girl was left standing there, unsure of how to proceed. Eventually, the girl spotted the Pontiac returning and opted to remain concealed behind the truck. The Pontiac drove past and then reversed, attempting to engage the girl in conversation. She continuously repositioned herself to avoid being seen. Finally, the driver gave up and drove off again, at which point the girl made a run for it. Following multiple tips about the driver and his vehicle, the police initiated an investigation. The 24-year-old man was identified as the driver and was interviewed, but not arrested, as he had not technically committed a crime, and thus the police had limited jurisdiction. Whether or not the man was actually planning something that day is unknown. Ali Porith is a mother of 2 daughters, aged 13 and 3 respectively. On the night of February 20th, 2022, the 3 of them went shopping together. Their home security camera footage captured them returning home, entering the house, and closing the door behind them. Shortly after, an individual appeared in the frame, emerging from around their parked truck. The first action he took was an attempt to open the door.
Who are you talking to? Why? Why?
The man walked away a few times, but it was later discovered through a neighbor's camera that he circled the house on his phone for the next 5 minutes. Further review of the videos revealed that he had been tailing them in his car from the store. A few seconds after they parked in the driveway, his car drove a bit further and parked a few houses down. After a few more seconds, he exited the car and began approaching them. Fortunately, they were able to enter the house and lock the door before he arrived. Ali concluded by stating, "I am uncertain of this man's intentions, but I do not believe it was a robbery. I think it was a random incident and we were not specifically targeted, but rather, the man saw an opportunity when he observed a woman and 2 girls entering a house alone. The police were notified, and though they searched the area, the man captured in the footage was never apprehended." In October of 2016, a family in Florida noticed several items missing from their home. Everything had been in place the night before, but upon waking up, belongings were discovered to be gone. To ascertain the whereabouts of the missing items, the family reviewed their home security camera footage. At 1:30 in the morning, this is what the cameras recorded. The footage depicted a man moving about the house while the family slept on couches just a few feet away. The intruder was searching for valuables and passing them to another man waiting outside, who appeared to be armed. Upon witnessing the footage, the family immediately contacted the police. An investigation was initiated, but the 2 men captured on camera were never located. Police suspect that if anyone in the house had awoken during the burglary, they would have likely faced harm. A woman residing in Hudson, Wisconsin, noticed something peculiar in the snow outside her window one morning. Upon further inspection, she realized it was footprints. The tracks led right up to her bedroom window and then retraced their steps. Concerned that someone had deliberately peered into her window, she installed a security camera outside, pointing towards her window. A few nights later, the camera recorded the same man who made the footprints returning and clearly peering into the window. Police were notified and shown the video. After investigation, they traced the vehicle seen leaving the scene to a man named Robert Cessna, a highly regarded executive at 3M according to his LinkedIn profile. Robert denied being the man in the video during police questioning. However, after interviewing witnesses in the neighborhood and gathering additional evidence, police were able to confirm that he was lying. Robert Cessna was subsequently charged with felony stalking and was later terminated from his executive position at 3M. Margaret Woodward, the 68-year-old resident of Long Eaton, England, experienced multiple burglaries at her home in 2013, totaling 5 break-ins. Following police advice, she installed home security cameras. Sure enough, a 6th break-in occurred around 1 a.m. while Margaret was asleep in her living room. The burglar was captured on camera, silently rummaging around and stealing multiple items without awakening Margaret. She only realized the burglary when the alarm went off, and she then chased the burglar with a cane. Using the footage, the police were able to identify the culprit as 51-year-old Patrick Reed, who was responsible for all 6 break-ins and had stolen approximately $1,000 from Margaret. Patrick Reed was subsequently sentenced to 4 years and 8 months in prison.